Hey everybody, it's ZM and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Last time we explored Hyrule's depths and obtained the Tunic of the Depths. And well, in this one we're going to be exploring the complete opposite as we're making our way back to Hyrule's sky. As we were told in the last video that in Kakariko Village there are ring ruins, and I do want to check that out, but right above Kakariko Village there happens to be, yes, a set of islands. This is the North Necluda Sky Archipelago, and these archipelagos are all throughout Hyrule's sky, and they look very identical to one another. So these set of islands you can find multiple times, and each one usually holds a shrine, as well as a Zonai device dispensary machine, and usually some other cool things that we can get. So let's go ahead and tackle this one, as it's right above Kakariko Village. So once we complete it, we can go ahead and check that out. But the main goal for this video is to make our way to the next regional phenomena, as, yeah, we want to first uncover the secrets behind that. But here is the shrine. Of course, it's not going to be easy to get, as, yeah, with these archipelagos, there are usually shrine quests that you have to do, that being delivering, yes, a crystal that is connected to the beam from the shrine. So let's go ahead and see where it goes. As you can see, yes, it's pointing that direction. So let's go ahead and make our way there. This here, I believe we've seen used in a trailer. I don't know if I've used it in this playthrough yet, but yes, you could literally control the bridge's direction by moving it around with Ultra Hand. It's so cool how it mimics it. I love this concept. Like, the technology for the Zonai are so freaking cool. It, like, uses that sci-fi tech, but has, like, this, you know, medieval feel. You know, we're literally moving a giant bridge. I don't know. I love it. But as you can see, the reason why I moved it this weird direction is so I can get this chest without it falling, as it holds an old map. And while some of the old maps will lead to amiibo gear, some will actually lead to unique and new gear found within this game exclusively, which I'm excited to get. We'll look into it. In general, we're going to get all the old maps that you can obtain throughout the game. But that happens to be one right there. Let's go ahead and now focus on the shrine at hand, as, yeah, now I want to go ahead and have the bridge face this direction, as this will lead us to where the crystal is for the shrine, and let us deliver it with these, as there are multiple ways you could tackle this, but I feel like this is the most convenient and quickest way. So our goal is to grab this crystal all the way that's over here. Pretty simple to say the least, and I feel like the fastest way to pick it up is with Ultra Hand, as yeah, Link holds it and can still move a bit faster than actually carrying it. I don't know if he really goes that much faster since you can't actually run, but I feel like, you know, Link is a bit faster doing it this way than actually holding it with his two hands. But, yeah, let's go ahead and now drop it right here, as, the idea is, instead of going all the way around these set of islands, as you can see, which you can launch the crystal to the other side, we're not going to do any of that. We're just going to head straight back to this, device that lets us control the bridge, and then literally just have it connect to us like that, from the island that the crystal's on to the island we need to deliver it on. Yeah, I find this method to be real easy and simple to solve this, and that way you don't have to go away all the way around the set of islands in the archipelago. You know, you could just go from one island to the other and you're done. But don't worry, we're going to be checking out those set of islands once we're done with the shrine. So let's go ahead and now deliver it. Overall, I really do enjoy these shrines. I enjoy any kind of fetch quest. To a lot of people, they may consider these to be like the dirty work of, you know, side quests. But for me, I love them because they give me something to do with the game's massive overworld. Yeah, we didn't move much. We barely had to, like, bring this from one side to another. But hey, it was something. And with that, the shrine has now opened up. So let's go ahead and take it on. And we actually don't have to take it on per se, because, yeah, you may notice that this is a blessing shrine. That quest that we had to do was pretty much all we needed to do, as Rauru is giving us one of his blessings. So, yeah, really easy shrine to say the least. We got ourselves a large Zonai charge, not bad. But with that said and done, let's go ahead and complete the shrine. I always love how these blessing shrines look. They're a huge upgrade compared to Breath of the Wild's blessing shrines, because we're in this weird abyss of sorts, you know, this emptiness with all the Zonai swirls surrounding us. Yeah, I always love these, but Yeah, anyways, we can see the first king and queen of Hyrule, their statues. Sadly, they don't change, but I don't know, something about the blessing shrines make me not want to skip these. They just look better with the background. But okay, let's skip it. Let's not waste any more time and just go on. Because think about it, you see this over 100 times throughout the game. So with that done, let's just move on. Okay, yeah, because like I said, we're going to be seeing that same cutscene literally hundreds of times throughout the game, so I should skip it more often. But okay, surprisingly, we never picked a Chickaloo tree nut before, but we got ourselves a couple now within this game. You know, they were an item for Breath of the Wild, so nothing new. These Sundelions aren't, and they're actually super useful when exploring the depths, as they give you the power of the sun, something you need to face the gloom. But yeah, what I want to do here is use some of the Zonite charges I have. I could use the large Zonite charges, but I don't want to waste them. I'm just going to use a simple one, see what this gacha machine has to offer, as it's going to dispense some more Zonite devices in capsules. And we got ourselves springs. Okay, we've used that in a shrine. And cannons. Not bad. Some people may consider this as a waste, but trust me, if you like building stuff with Zonite devices, it's worth picking up. Anyways, now what I want to do is use this. Okay, I didn't make it in time, but yes, use this piston to launch me to the other side of these islands, you know, in the archipelago, as, yeah, we can make our way here and find ourselves another chest. This chest may be a bit complicated to get, as yeah, if I go ahead and shoot it, I'm gonna have to chase it all the way down, which you can. It will land on the surface if you chase it. It won't despawn. It's really cool how that works. But I'm actually gonna do something else, and that is yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we could either build a bridge with Ultra Hand by you know, fusing, or rather attaching, because fuse is its own ability, but attaching the wooden planks together. But instead, I'm just going to go ahead and have it. Let's see if the physics work. Yes, just have it slide. Whoa! It almost actually fell there. But yeah, I'm just going to have it slide to me. We could have made a bridge, but I think this is cooler using the game's physics. And there we go. We got ourselves another old map. Not bad, and it's leading us to the depths again, as they usually do. And we'll check that out when the time comes. The depths is just so much to do, and we already have so much on the surface. But okay, let's go to pick up a Zonite charge. Luckily, these rusted constructs can give you Zonite charges. And then let's look for the sweet spot here, so we can easily ascend our way back up, because I'm not done with this island. And whoa, talk about a sweet spot. We literally ascended even through the tree, which is really cool. And let me grab this as well. Yeah, I highly suggest always utilizing the rusted constructs, as they always will have a Zonite charge next to them, similar to the Guardian parts that you would get near rusted Guardian pieces in Breath of the Wild. But anyways, this chest is very important, as it actually holds something we've obtained before, that being a Sage's Will, which we can upgrade at a goddess statue once we have 4 of. And yeah, we'll soon get to that point, but for now, let's just focus on the objective at hand. So I guess from here we can make our way to Kakariko Village, as it's literally right underneath us. But there's one last thing I want to do while I'm on this set of islands, and here actually is some splash fruits. We obtained them before, but we're going to put them to use a lot throughout what's upcoming ahead, even later within this video. So do look forward to that. But okay, let's look for the sweet spot once again. Sometimes it takes a bit, because, you know, you can't ascend through anything. But when you find it, it's oh so worth it. But okay, now let's go ahead and pick up. Oh, okay, we never got a hardy radish, but no, I'm not here for that. I actually want to, actually, yes, let's pick up this as well. There is a golden apple, which I haven't gotten. You can find them on the surface, but they're a lot more likely to find in the trees that are on the Sky Islands. But that's not what I'm here for, of course. I'm actually here for one last thing, that being, yes, this Korok seed. And I believe this is a new type of Korok puzzle, as yes, we have to dive, which is perfect, because we're going to make our way to Kakariko Village by diving. But yes, we have to dive after it to obtain the seed itself. Pretty nice, to say the least. But okay, with that said and done, now let's go ahead and check out Kakariko Village. After so long, since the upheaval, so much has changed. As you can see, yes, these are the ring ruins. They remind us of the Ouroboros that we see all throughout the Zonai architecture. And well, we're going to see more of it. But first, let's go ahead and activate the shrine so we can easily teleport back to Kakariko anytime we please. Let's do this. Alright, and I believe the shrine will actually give us a new Zonai device that we haven't really utilized yet. And luckily in Kakariko Village, yes, we're going to be able to get an upright device from the gacha machine that's found here. So what is this upright device? There's so many shrines that are straight up just dedicated to a new Zonai device, which I do like because it really helps introduce you to it. It gives you some unique puzzles, but also, you know, you get that reward of just powering yourself up more and more as well. So what we want to do, yes, is, well, if we activate the device, it will literally cause the thing it's connected to go upright, as these are stabilizers. Essentially, that's what the Zonai device is known for. So we want these stabilizers to be activated when we're on it, so it literally sends the thing we're on to fling us forward, which I find pretty cool, to say the least. Let's go ahead and activate this one. Luckily, you don't have to hit the stabilizer itself. You just have to hit whatever it's attached to. That's essentially how all Zonai devices work. Once it's attached to something, it can easily be activated by just attacking that thing, which I really do like. I love how convenient and amazing these are. Like, yeah, I really do hope Zelda does stay this way from here on out. But all we want to do with this is launch this ball. And now we need to launch ourselves. But, yeah, my general point is I would love for Nintendo to continue to flesh out these ideas with their physics throughout these games. And I would love for this game to have a trilogy altogether, maybe utilizing the power of the Triforce of Power with some, I don't know, red type technology. I know that sounds far-fetched and, you know, whatever, but okay. And as you can see, yeah, this is something, even though I adore the game's physics, look at this. I don't care how long it takes. Sometimes it just trolls you. Why is it still rotating around? Like, what is going on? That is absolutely annoying, but I could have obviously picked it up and moved it or used Ultra Hand to speed up the process, but I just want to show you how, yeah, sometimes it just sits and rotates and doesn't want to land. It's like that golf ball. You want to get it in the hole, but you can't, and that's what I feel. But okay, luckily with this being a Yiga Swordsman Blade, yeah, we could use the wind attacks, which I absolutely love. Sadly, it does take away from its durability, so this was going to eventually break. And since we're not attacking Zonai devices exactly, we're hitting actual objects. As you can see, yeah, it will literally break on me, sadly. But whatever, we had fun with it, and we are now done with the shrine. Just like that, by extending the launcher, you know, the length of it, we were able to launch ourselves far further away to make, you know, the gap between the shrine. And yeah, just like that, we have completed the shrine with another Light of Blessing. And now that we have over 4, let's go ahead and upgrade them. Okay, before we get sidetracked with everything, I do want to kind of take it in. Yes, this is Kakariko Village after the upheaval. Looks for the most part the same, but of course there's so many ruins throughout it. Not just this Zonai Gacha device, but just general ruins that you can find that have yeah, kind of messed with the village. But let's go ahead and interact with this. As like I said, there happens to be a gacha dispensary here, and this will actually give us a new capsule of something we just discovered from that previous shrine, that being the stabilizer, as now we can get them in capsules. Obviously, every Zonai device you can get within a capsule, and thanks to these dispensaries, we'll be able to collect them. But, huh? What just rolled out there? Is that what I think it is? So this strange artifact was intended to produce Zonai devices, huh? But why would the Zonai people have built such a thing? I couldn't begin to guess. I mean, maybe because they like gacha dispensaries, they want to gamble? I don't know. They want to gamble with stuff that will help them construct and build things. Yeah, it seems a bit bizarre. I mean, turning something that is clearly meant for construction and something really important, these Zonai devices aren't just collectibles you get, but putting it behind something that is more of a game, a toy, a, you know, gamble type machine. You know, it's like a gumball machine or a gacha machine. That's why I always refer to them as gacha machines. I do find it funny why they would put it behind it, so I agree with her. Seems a bit bizarre, but anyways, let's go ahead and get ourselves another heart container. Keep the heart containers rolling, since I do have 2 stamina wheels and you can only get 3 in total, so I'm in no rush to complete the 3rd one. I think 2 is good to go for now. We'll eventually do it, but let's just focus on more heart containers to continue to buff up Link, give him more HP, and just feel generally stronger. But okay, with that, obviously the goddess statue is in the same location as it was in Breath of the Wild, and let me go ahead and switch my outfit. It feels weird to have the Tunic of the Depths not in the depths. Let's use the Champion's leathers. But yeah, it's good to be back, my friends. Here we are, and as you can see, there's Lady Paya. What? Yes, Lady Paya? Well, yes, it seems, and there is Tauro as well. Yes, here is the ring ruins that they were speaking about in the last video. So let's go ahead and check it out for ourselves.
Yeah.
The ring ruins are the most intriguing ruins I've researched, especially this one. The way part of it floats up there. You had the foresight to focus on all of these special ruins and invite the survey team to take a look right away. I'm impressed, Chief Paya. Oh no, I'm no chief. I just couldn't refuse my predecessor when she decided to pass the title to me rather suddenly. I'm really a chief in name only, since I have a great deal to... Oh, is that you, Master Link? I'm so happy to see you again. Yes, it looks like Paya has been upgraded to Chief of Kakariko Village. It's also pretty nice to see her again. I'm overjoyed that both you and Princess Zelda are safe, Master Link. Actually, Zelda went from the present to the future, and the future to the present, so kiss my ass. What? Princess Zelda is still missing? That just confuses the matter more. You see, I actually met with the princess not too long ago. It was immediately after the upheaval. Princess Zelda came here to Kakariko Village. She ordered us all to stay away from the ring ruins that floats above us, no matter what. I saw her myself, the princess, right before my eyes. She left as soon as she arrived. I wasn't able to ask her anything more about those unusual instructions. We thought it was to protect the villagers from harm. This ruin does look like it could crash down at any moment. That's what Paya and I suspect at least. But still, I know you would not misspeak, Master Link, especially on a matter of such importance. How confusing. Oh, my apologies, Master Link. I was so pleased to see you, I completely forgot common courtesy. Please allow me to introduce Mr. Tauro, an esteemed member of the Zonai survey team. I invited him here to investigate the ring ruins that fell on our village. He has incredibly deep knowledge of the Zonai civilization. He's even familiar with Zonai script. He is truly an incredibly talented individual. It's clear that the floating ring ruin that we were forbidden to explore is a unique and incredibly valuable find. Several more ring ruins with such a shape have fallen down around the village. Most have broken apart in some way. What's fascinating is that a stone slab with writing was found at each site. Deciphering the text showed that each slab contains rather interesting content, including mention of sages. There's still so much we don't understand. I think that perhaps the ruin floating in the air also has a slab that makes mention of the sages. I can't investigate, as that would go against Princess Zelda's direct orders. If only I could meet with her again, I'm sure I could persuade her to change her mind. In any case, I'm having trouble squaring your story about Princess Zelda with the Princess Zelda we met. If everything is alright, why won't she just show herself? She must have some reason. Until we find out Princess Zelda's true intentions, we have no choice but to trust her and leave that ruin alone. All right, there's a lot to unpack, but before we do that, let's go ahead and check out Paya's artwork. As she is looking fine, and I love how she's wearing the giant hat similar to Impa, as she is the new Chief of Kakariko Village. And obviously, Tauro, you would have obtained his artwork now if you didn't obtain it from the Lookout Landing, as, yeah, he was searching for something to do, but was sent back, and now is forced to investigate the ring ruins with Paya. And while I do want to help him out, let's first focus on the main objective at hand. So I'm going to leave Kakariko Village, follow this pathway to reach the stable located here, that being the Wetland Stable, and from there we're going to head to Zora's domain where the next regional phenomena is. We'll use Kakariko Village as our starting point to then reach this next regional phenomena. While there is so much to do within Kakariko Village and so much has changed since the upheaval, and I want to get into it with side quests and main quests, we're going to put it aside, as in general, there is a pretty big thing going on with the ring ruins, and I first want to complete the main 4 regional phenomena, as we have 3 more left, as believe it or not, it will all tie together here in Kakariko Village. But anyways, let's go ahead and just leave and focus on that objective for now. So piece by piece, with so much to do within this game, it's so hard to focus on one thing at a time. But as you can see, there's a sticky frog here. I had to take a photo of it, as these are completely new creatures we can find within Hyrule here in Tears of the Kingdom. And they essentially give you an anti-slip resistance if you do cook them into a potion, which is very similar to the outfit resistance we're going to get from the froggy armor, that being through the sightings of Princess Zelda that we find in each stable. Obviously with that, that will be a full-on outfit, so we don't have to collect them and turn them into potions and whatnot. But we can also find the sticky lizards that are found throughout caves to also turn into those potions. And maybe we'll put these to use. I do like how the sticky frogs, though, unlike the sticky lizards, don't move. They're so sticky, they're stuck to their exact location, which I find hilarious. But, yeah, the sticky lizards, on the other hand, will immediately run if they see you, which makes them a little bit harder to farm. But nonetheless, we got a good amount on our exit. I do love the entrance and exit point for Kakariko Village with these you know, archways, and as you can see, yes, we got ourselves a new type of Korok seed on top of this one, that being Paya interacting with these dandelions. And if you blow it or just attack it, you want to make sure you touch it as it falls back down to the ground to obtain yourself a Korok seed. Pretty nice to say the least. But yeah, while it is sad that we're leaving Kakariko Village because there is so much to do, like I said, we'll be back. It was just nice to see Paya and again have a immediate access back to the village, as we'll be able to teleport there thanks to the shrine. But yeah, overall it is nice to see Paya compared to how much attention Pura is getting within this game. It's funny because I feel like Paya would get the most attention within Breath of the Wild. Obviously Pura was a child, so you know, no one really cared back then, but now that Pura is a young adult, yeah, I feel like everybody's simping over her, which is funny to think about because compared to Paya, she is her great aunt. Hell, she is older than Impa. Like, Impa is already an old hag. Pura is older than that, and because she is her older sister, for those wondering. And yeah, to me that is hilarious how she is now like the most fine-looking character out of all of them, when she is literally like the oldest Sheikah we know. Yeah, either way, you know, let's not forget about Paya. You know, I know there was Paya Simps as well out there. I mean, I'll be honest, if I had to choose between the two, I would actually choose Pura, mainly because she's behind the Pura pad. To me, that's pretty cool. You know, just that alone, with how much she helps throughout the game, makes me respect her a lot more. And I mean, she does look better. You know, she really managed to tune her age to like that perfect age to where, yeah, I feel like she's looking pretty fine. But okay, with this done, let's go ahead and start making our way to the stable, as mentioned, as we're going to head to the Wetland Stable. And while shield surfing would be a great way to do this, I'm not going to do that because it will take us a while. I do like how this Hudson's sign was really easy to do because there was already wooden planks on the ground to utilize. It's kind of nice how some of them are handicapped like that. But okay, speaking of the wooden planks that we can use, let's go ahead and use this as a vantage point, as we're going to launch ourselves in the air. And all I'm going to do is just do that. There you go. Plop it on the ground. Because having it up in the air earlier, I can now recall its movements. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and, yes, use one of these horses. As you may know, I like to just, you know, get a horse, use it for a little bit, and then it kind of let it go, let it be free. You know, I'm not trying to tame and register every horse. I just want to use the horse to reach my next destination. Again, while shield surfing would have been pretty nice, especially if it started raining, since we would have had much better traction. I feel like it'd be faster to get to the next stable on horse, because we're not only going downhill, we're going to eventually reach a point where it's no longer a slope heading downwards. But yeah, let's go ahead and start our trek. Plus, I love the music that plays. You know, the horseback music is super nice. I wish they would have updated it a little bit compared to Breath of the Wild, but I mean, already in Breath of the Wild, it was a banger, so in this game, it continues to bang. But okay, wow, really? I literally let go of my controller completely to kind of look at this horse, see if I want to register it, but I'm already not liking this horse because it's temperament. And let's be honest, once you have Epona and like the horses from Breath of the Wild, you don't want a random horse. We're going to be getting way cooler horses within this game that are just as unique as the ones we got within Breath of the Wild. So it makes these like random horses not seem as special. Even though this one is decent, I feel like in speed and stamina, I'm not going to bother. But okay, so the goal right now is to reach the next stable, and we're just going to continue following this pathway along, as that's pretty much how I've always wanted to do these playthroughs. I never wanted to just start going random directions. I always wanted to literally utilize the pathway the game paves out. Hell, I don't even have to control the horse. I can have it take me to where I'm supposed to go. If it actually listens, that is. But as you can see, yeah, it's taking me straight to the next stable. Really easy to find. I know there are many other methods in traveling, especially when it comes to gliding, but I want to be able to balance my travel throughout this series and, you know, make it seem kind of you know, not so one-sided on one method of traveling, have different ways, and really give variety to how we explore Hyrule and all of that. So I feel like, yeah, a little bit on horseback, a little bit in the air. As long as I'm, you know, really covering everything and showing a really easy pathway to follow things, I'm going to do that. So obviously, with this being a stable, there's a shrine right next to it. So let's go ahead and take it on real quick and do this. And I believe the shrine is actually the very first shrine I ever took on when landing after the Great Sky Islands onto Hyrule surface, that being Forward Forest. You can actually see my first reaction to it in the little bits of my blind playthrough that I recorded. Yeah, I remember the shrine giving me a lot of trouble, but wow, coming back to the shrine after having played the game so much more, I look at it in a completely different light, and everything, it can be solved completely differently. It is absolutely hilarious. So obviously this right here is going to be the same almost every time through, as yeah, we just want to navigate to the other side through the lava, and we already have a pre-built Zonai vehicle that we can utilize. But here, this is where things come into play and really show off the game's physics in such a unique and cool way. So obviously with me, I like to utilize what Nintendo gives me and tries to figure out what puzzle they want me to solve by utilizing what I'm given to use and not just kind of make up my own thing. I understand there are many ways to solve the game and that the game developers have given many ways to do it, but trust me, there is a definitive way. I don't care if that makes you mad. Who cares? I'm gonna point it out. So this is how you're supposed to do it. Again, trust me, this is how Nintendo clearly intended for the player to do it. That's why they gave us these material here, as literally, yeah, flips its way to the top. Such a cool and unique way of solving it, and something I feel like most players wouldn't really think of. Like, it took me a while to finally figure that out. Once I got comfortable with the Zonai devices, I finally figured out that you could do stuff like that and kind of make it like a propeller that literally pushes its way up, literally the forward force. But how I originally solved it is, and this is honestly an easier way of doing it if you didn't know how to do it, but I am curious how other people solved it. But this is how I solved it in my first playthrough. That being, yes, literally lifting it up, making use of the recall, it giving me that leverage, and then just picking it up through recall, just like that. See how easy that is? That essentially works, but again, with what you were given, clearly Nintendo had a different way for players to do it. But obviously I understand that the player is given many ways, and no way is the wrong way. I'm just saying, the definitive way. I hope people can understand that, because I always get people who get upset that I'm always like, you know, this is probably the intended way, and it's like, why can't I look for the intended way? I'm trying to figure out how Nintendo wanted the basic way of solving things to be, and then, you know, put it together, you know. Obviously, even with this one, since I didn't really know that you can make propellers like that, I just made a giant bridge to link one way to another. But this works, as you can see, another use of how you can literally get the wheels turning like that, and then kind of yeah, make ground. This is way too slow, though. There must be a faster method in doing this, but, you know, I just thought I'd show off how unique of a concept this is, and how amazing the physics are. Like, the physics are truly magic within this game, like how real it feels. No game has given us this. I remember when games first started doing ragdoll physics, that was already mind-blowing, you know, and that makes no sense. They literally turn into a ragdoll, like when they're dead. To me, that's kind of ridiculous when you really think about it, because they become weightless when they die. You would have thought your soul weighed that much, you know? But nah, this game has such, you know, even though, again, it's very wacky the way it works, it's still so well done, and you can believe it and get behind it. I just love the physics for this game so much, and I just want Nintendo to continue to expand on it, like I mentioned before within this video. So well done, and I can't wait for yeah, the future of this series. Believe it or not, even though I love the classic games, I love this new direction as well. But okay, with this shrine done, let's go ahead and continue on. But with that shrine completed, let's now focus on the stable, as there's a couple things I want to do throughout it before making my way to the next regional phenomena, that being the Wetland Stable. And speaking of wetland, the land literally is wet, as I'm able to shield surf pretty slickly thanks to the rain. I love the traction you get in the rain. But anyways, here is Penn. Obviously, he's at every single stable since we're doing the quests that involve the sightings of Princess Zelda, and we can do one at each and every single stable with him. So yeah, this one happens to be that Princess Zelda has came to the stable and borrowed some farm tools, and she promised to return them but never did. Talk about a uneventful and unexciting quest, to say the least. But whatever, we'll do it. We'll help him out. We need to go speak to a man named Izra, as, yeah, she borrowed them from him, and he wants the missing farm tools back. Even the quest name sounds so uneventful, but whatever, let's do it. You know, in the grand scheme of things, completing all these side quests will net us something super special, and in general, we're going to do all the side quests within the game. But yeah, let's go ahead and help out Izra, as, yeah, he's pretty upset that he never got his farm tools back. Just saying that out loud sounds so silly, but whatever. Let's go ahead and help him out. So yeah, we have to make our way down this river to the Floren Sandbar, as that is where they were left off. And well, as you can see, he is unable to head down, and this is actually really cool. So even though the objective of this quest is very simple and uneventful, the quest itself is really fun to do gameplay wise. So yes, we can offer that we can take him, and by doing so, yes, we're gonna literally have to bring this guy down the river, and obviously we're gonna need to use Zonai devices to do so. Luckily, we're given the exact devices we need to create the vehicle we need to bring him down. So obviously he's sitting on his raft. If you cut the rope, it will head down just very slowly, and you won't be able to control it. So with the steering stick, we can control it, and obviously we're going to need a little momentum while heading down. So let's go ahead and use this Zonai fan device as well. And since our battery might not be big enough to power this the whole way through, luckily we're also given a battery. So just like that, we made the perfect sailing device that we need to bring this guy down, and now let's do it! Hell yeah! Okay, the speed ain't really that fast whatsoever, but still, this to me is pretty fun. I really like it. We have to obviously play it careful. To no surprise, this is going to be way too easy to do, but if you do somehow manage to mess up, and he is tilted into the water or just loses balance from the vehicle, you will have to redo it. And obviously with this one being super easy, we're not going to get to that point, but nonetheless, I love it. And I love how Link looks when he's steering the stick. He looks so silly, the way he's like moving his entire body to steer it. Yeah, it just looks amazing. And again, I really do love these quests that require escorting an NPC. Again, it utilizes the game's massive overworld to do more with it. You know, we're given this river, and we can completely ignore it for all that matters. But no, there's a side quest that forces us to head down the river with an NPC and play it safe, take it easy. I love it. I love the way these progress. I love the way you do them. But I can't deny that, yeah, the objective in general, like what we're doing it for, is not that exciting. But whatever. Anyways, along the way, I actually want to quickly, you know, just dock my raft here. As, yes, there happens to be a Korok. Let me go ahead and pick it up and, yeah, you scared me. As if you do try to pick up a Korok before talking to it, he won't let you. Obviously, he will first mention where he wants to go and then have you take him to there. So, yeah, let's go ahead and now take the Korok to its friend, as we can now use Ultra Hand and grab it. But luckily, its friend is just literally on the other side of the river, so this is perfect. Super convenient. The reason why I normally ignore Koroks is because they're out of my way, but as you can see, this one isn't, and yeah, there we go. Let's just go ahead and make sure it's facing the Korok. If we did tilt over the raft, he would have literally gotten too nauseous and we would have had to restart. So yeah, you want to be careful when rotating the vehicle that an NPC is on, because yeah, they're gonna fall off, and if they do, you fail the quest. So it's no biggie. You just have to start from the beginning. It's not a big deal, but yeah. And speaking of, I like how you said yeah with me. Yeah, speaking of which, the Korok is now happy. He has reached his friend. Let's wiggle this carefully to make sure we don't wiggle the entire raft. And just like that, we got ourselves 2 Korok seeds. That's the main thing that makes these worth it, is the fact that you can get 2 Korok seeds by delivering a Korok. But again, if it's not in my general sense of direction, I'm not going to bother. But don't worry, we're going to do all the Korok seeds mandatory to complete our inventory. But okay, we got some rockets, not bad. Some pretty useful Zonai devices, some more splash fruit. Like I said, we're going to be utilizing them later within this video when we reach the next regional phenomena. It will all make sense. But okay, let's go ahead and rotate this guy. And as you can see, yeah, he's getting seasick. So you got to generally be careful when rotating and moving things around. But okay, with that done, now let's focus on the quest and finish it. So yeah, stop near that dock. As you can see, not too far ahead. Overall, this side quest is super easy and straightforward, which is nice. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and complete it. And even though our battery is about to fully deplete, the battery we have on us, you know, should do the job. As you can see, it's depleting rather slowly because we only have 1 fan. Yeah, it would have been faster with multiple fans, but I just want to utilize what the game gave me and not have to pull out any from pocket. But there we go. We have completed it. Not bad. Woohoo! We made it! Now, you may recognize this area, or may not, since a lot has changed throughout Breath of the Wild, but this area holds one of the scariest NPCs throughout Breath of the Wild. And that isn't who's up in the sky, obviously. That's Penn. He's only from this game. He wasn't in Breath of the Wild. And obviously, he's here to give us the reward at the very end of this quest. What I am scared of, and the person behind this area happens to be... Hey! Yes, Magda, Flower Blight Ganon herself. What do you think you're doing? Just barging in here? This place is for flowers and plants. All of them. Precious. You better watch out. You'll rue the day you trample on any of them. Yeah, she's still just as frightening. Wow, who's this? Ever met her before, partner? So sorry, ma'am. We're just looking for some farm tools that I lent Princess Zelda way back. I promise we won't pick any flowers. Picking them? I'm more worried about you kicking them. Wait a minute. Farm tools? Did you say something about farm tools? That's right. Some farm tools from our stable. I want them back. Oh, well, that's my fault. I have them. This area is home of Princess Zelda's plant sanctuary. She asked me to take care of this special place with her. She loved these plants, and she spent a lot of time here, making sure the garden beds were happy homes for them. We meant to return the tools after we finished our work here. But the princess, well... They say she went missing. And all her work was ruined. Oh, when these darn ruins crashed down. It's been really awful. I've been working so hard since then to make it all nice again. Really, that's what happened. Now that I think about it, I didn't tell Princess Zelda how soon I needed our stable's tools back. As long as they're in good condition, it's no problem. I'll just go ahead and take them with me if you're done. Now I feel guilty for some reason. Didn't mean to make you hurry it up. All this was about a sanctuary for plants and flowers, huh? Sounds just like our princess to find time to work on a garden alongside folk while restoring Hyrule. I've tried to make these garden beds as perfect as they were before. It's just so hard on my own. If only someone would help. Sure, glad to help. Keep the tools a little longer, and here's a tip. Don't overwork the soil. And also, nope. That's all I got. What's with the face? You said you'll help? I accept your offer. What? I didn't say that. Well, close enough. So what if you don't say what you really think? I won't hold that against you. Now, how about you go work the soil like you said? I'll go tend the flowers. We'll have this whole garden back in beautiful shape by the time Princess Zelda returns. It'll be the pride of Hyrule. Oh, and here's one tip from me. Put your back into it! Can't talk my way out of this one. And she'd probably wreck the tools if she used them wrong. Okay, fine. Seems like I'm up the creek without a paddle here, or down it. Either way, I'll help. You can go. I'll stay here. What else have I got to do, right? But okay, that pretty much completes this quest. Yes, it seems like Magda is trying to restore this garden to where it once was in Breath of the Wild. Obviously, when we stepped on it, she would try to murder us. It was pretty funny in Breath of the Wild. She actually does the same within this game as well. But yeah, looks like Penn has a new headline to run. And it does seem like this Princess Zelda wasn't like the other sightings, where all the other sightings may not actually be Princess Zelda. This may have actually been her before the upheaval, which I find pretty cool. So overall, the ending of this quest is pretty worth it, especially compared to the beginning of this quest with how, you know, uneventful it sounded. Definitely towards the end, we got a bit more insight on Zelda and how she is trying to restore Hyrule and teaming up with the many folk throughout its kingdom. I think it's really cool. But anyway, soar long. Yes, goodbye, my friend. And well, there we go. That is our third quest, that being the missing farm tools. Obviously throughout the main sightings of Princess Zelda. But here is the Floren Sandbar. Again, yeah, it looks so weird without all the flowers surrounding it. There used to be a shrine at its very center. And you had to avoid all the flowers when trying to reach the shrine. Obviously, Rivali's Gale would have made it super easy, but nonetheless, it was a really cool shrine to say the least. And yeah, just seeing how much has changed and how it's gotten worse in this game is pretty interesting. I like how a lot of us thought within this game Hyrule would be a lot more restored compared to the post-apocalyptic look it had in Breath of the Wild, but in this game, it's even worse. But anyways, yes, so let me show off what happens if you step in it. So, ouch, that hurts. What are you doing? Somehow she feels the pain of the flowers. That's what the flowers you ruined would be screaming, if they could scream. So listen to them, and don't do such awful things. Yeah, if you persist at it, she'll only get more and more mad, but I had to show it off. Obviously, we know this from Breath of the Wild, and we'll come back to this later. But again, I do think it's really cool how Princess Zelda did actually help out a lot of the people throughout Hyrule. But okay, with that done, let's head back to the stable, as we have some unfinished business there before we continue on to the next regional phenomena. Now, of course, from here, we're going to pick up a horse and make our way to the next regional phenomena. I'm not going to bother with the horse towards our right, even though we used it to get here. I don't need it. I'd rather use one of our registered horses. I don't like that one. But, well, you may notice that there's something to do here as well, that involving this well. And, well, let me stop saying the word well before, well, you guys get upset. And, well, good morning. Yes, even the NPC says well, so you know what? Don't get mad at me. But it's kind of foreshadowing something, and that's the reason why I've been saying well so much. Because, believe it or not, yes, this side quest is talking about these monsters happen to be near this well that they worked so hard to build on. And, well, we're gonna have to go ahead and investigate this well to defeat these monsters and complete the side quest, but we're also going to pick up something else from it. So yeah, we got to get rid of these uninvited guests. But first, I want to jump into this well, as I believe this is our first well we're jumping into throughout this game, and within the first one, you'll find her throughout it, so speak to her. Yes, this is Fera. She happens to be in the first well you happen to discover throughout Hyrule, as there's a lot of them. And let's see what she has to say. Huh, what are you doing in a place like this? Although, I'm in a place like this. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be a Well Enthusiast, would you? Well, of course! I thought so. My name's Fera. I have a deep love for wells too. Wells are endlessly fascinating. Their damp environment, their unique system of life, how they stay cool when it's hot outside. Well enthusiasts just get it. The appeal of a good well, that is. Yeah, I really don't get the fascination to wells. But well, according to her, there happens to be 58 wells throughout Hyrule as she is trying to find every single well. The goal is to pretty much explore every single well, and with each one we explore, if we tell her about it, we get 10 rupees. And with this being our very first one, we're only going to get 10 rupees, but each well will give you a 10 rupee reward. And yeah, you can find them throughout towns and stables, ruins, all throughout Hyrule, similar to the caves that have all of a sudden appeared since the upheaval, which is pretty cool. Well, that does that, as she does head to Lookout Landing, and yes, Where Are the Wells is a quest that we can do, as there's almost 60 wells we have to find throughout the game, and since the upheaval, they have appeared all throughout Hyrule, similar to the caves. And speaking of caves, these, sticky lizards are similar to the sticky frogs, and they can be found throughout the caves and wells throughout Hyrule, though these ones run away the second you come near them, so it's best to shoot them with an arrow to make sure you actually get them. And it reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus, because there were literally lizards that you would collect, specifically their tails. But whatever, that's beside the point. In general, let's keep in mind that there are wells to find. We're going to do that. But first, let's focus, yes, on this at hand, the side quest that we have to do, getting rid of these uninvited guests. And well, I managed to pick up most of their weapons, which is pretty nice, as now they don't have a weapon to attack me with except this Lizalfo. But obviously with this game introducing the weapons that literally sprout out of the enemy's heads from the horns and the talons and the blades, yeah, they can literally just headbutt us and do more damage with that than using a weapon on us, which I find really cool though, because these weapons, as you can see, it's literally burning. It kind of sucks. I picked them up. So what's the point of killing these guys outside of the side quest? Well, it's literally what they drop from their forehead, that being the horns and such. As you can see, this blue Bokoblin happens to have one, or rather Moblin. I don't know why I called him Bokoblin, but yeah. He happens to have one, and this guy's jumping all around. I kind of failed that toss. Let me try again. Let's go ahead and toss it, and then pick it up. Okay, I failed again. But luckily, Tulin helped me out by taking care of the last baddie, that being the archer. And there you go. With that, they have been defeated. But yes, I find it hilarious how with the boomerang, if you fuse it to even a rock, it will still come back just like it is intended to. To me, that's pretty hilarious. So yeah, the boomerang can be used for insane things if you fuse it to even stronger weapons. But yeah, here is the blue Moblin horn that I was excited to pick up. And the Lizalfo's talons, not bad, because these can be fused to weapons and make pretty badass weapons. But okay, let's go ahead and pick up this Lizal shield as well. As why not? I mean, the Highland shield doesn't really let me need to use the other shields, as its durability is insane and it will last quite a bit. But still, I do like the Lizal shield's design. I liked it in Breath of the Wild, so why not pick it up within this game as well? But the Highland shield is definitely going to be my go-to for the foreseeable future. But okay, with that said and done, we have now completed the side quest. The nasty monsters have been defeated, and just like that, we get ourselves a reward. But with this being a stable quest, yes, we get ourselves 2 pony points, which immediately puts us to our next reward that we can pick up. And let's go ahead and do just that. Obviously, I want to pull out my horse as well, since we're going to be heading to the next regional phenomena from the Wetland Stable, as this is like the perfect stable to start from. And yeah, let's go ahead and pick up opponent. And with this being a new stable, I believe we get ourselves another pony point. So we're sitting on a lot. We're pretty much real close to getting ourselves another reward. But first, let me pull out Epona. I don't want to use the horse, like I said, that I brought here. Don't care for it. Epona will always be my favorite horse, though we will get other cool and unique horses that we will use throughout this playthrough. And yeah, okay, sadly we can't equip anything, but okay, I just realized this guy mentioned something interesting. Yeah, some kind of mysterious muck is all throughout Zora's domain. We're going to figure out what that regional phenomena is in a bit. So we're going to make our way there, but first let me pick up my reward. And I want to see Link's expression again, because I love how he gets so excited and then it just goes back to his dull face. But okay, the camera angle changed. I'll try that again with my next reward, but there we go. We got the Melania bed, that being a unique bed that shares a mystical message when sleeping in. So we're going to go ahead and check that out. And our next reward will be an additional horse. Not bad. But let's go ahead and check out this Melania bed. You know, I did waste some HP on those enemies, so why not sleep at a stable? I never do, but let's put it to use with the Melania bed. Obviously, Melania is the horse god, and, well, by sleeping, we're going to get a mystical message from him and something more. So let's go ahead and do this and rest. I am Melania, the god of horses, who grants quicker hooves and thicker hides. In northeast Hyrule, near a stable in Akala, I am waiting. So yeah, it seems like Melania speaks to us in our sleep when we sleep in their bed. And we get ourselves an additional 3 yellow hearts and stamina wheel, which makes it worth the 50 rupees. But the main reason why I slept in it is for the additional pony point, as we get one for first sleeping in one as well. So now we can get ourselves another reward. And yeah, Melania happens to be in the Akala region, as it told us in our sleep, unlike before in Breath of the Wild, which it was located in the Floren region. But according to him, we gotta go ahead and make our way to Zora's domain, as he won't shut up about that, and we'll do so. But first, let me receive my reward. And well, yeah, look at that. Link goes from such a happy expression to completely dull. I love how he goes from 100 to 0 so quick. It's like he's so excited, and then he just loses all that enthusiasm within seconds. But there we go. With that, we can now register more horses. And yeah, with our next reward, we'll be able to get ourselves a bridle and saddle for our horses. It's not like it matters if we're using a Epona, but still cool nonetheless, and we'll continue with that. But for now, let's go ahead and make our way to Zora's domain, as that is our next destination to check out the next regional phenomena. And from the Wetland Stable, we want to head through the wetlands. Now, the land may all be wet right now because it's raining, but we're going to head through the actual wetlands, and that happens to be through this fork in the road, because I am backtracking a bit to reach where the road is divided into two, and from here, we're going to be making our way to, yes, Zora's domain. So I'm going to try to make this really easy to follow, but along the way, let me actually quickly pick up this. Really easy to miss, but yes, now that we have found our first well, let's make sure to head in every well so we can report them to Terra later. But yeah, here's a traveler. Obviously, we know with the name being Traveler, yeah, you'll hear a hero screams, but they're going to be yours. No surprise. This is no Traveler. This is a Yiga clan member. We've already seen him in the last video, and I mean, throughout Breath of the Wild, we've seen way too many. That boomerang attack kind of failed. Let me just use a flurry rush on him. Overall, he's going to be a piece of cake. Just quickly take him out, just like that. And we'll move on from there. But you may notice there isn't much within this well, and that is because, yeah, most of the wells are pretty empty. They're just there to kind of explore, and, you know, you just write them down on your map, and then you can report them for more rupees when we do that. But let's go ahead and now leave this well, since we got what we wanted from it, that being, you know, just murdering that Yiga clan member. And from here, let's continue on. So, as you can see, like I said, I want to follow certain pathways. That's the goal. A pathway is where the horse can literally move on its own, knowing where to go. And obviously, it's marked on our map. But we're making our way to a region that we don't have on our map. So I'm going to try to make this as easy and efficient as possible to follow along, while still showcasing the game for what it's worth. Because again, the way I would play this game by myself would be completely different. I want to make sure I really show off this game throughout this playthrough and not just kind of do things willy-nilly, if that makes any sense. But okay, here happens to be another well. This well actually goes into what I was talking about earlier within this video, and that is with the sticky frogs. Yes, as you can see on the note on this table, it mentions the sticky frogs and how it will help in a rainy day, which it happens to be raining. So, as mentioned obviously before, the sticky frogs, when cooked into an elixir, can actually make ourselves an anti-slip potion, which will let us literally climb in the rain. Same goes for the sticky lizards. Let's just use the sticky frogs with a moblin gut and make ourselves this potion. Pretty much you always want to mix it with a monster part so you can make yourself an elixir, this being the sticky elixirs. It gives us literally slip resistance and up to tier 3, which is really important because this will allow you to climb super easily. If you only have 1 or 2 tiers, you will slip quite a bit, and it makes it almost not useless or not useful at all. But yes, these sticky frogs will be useful if we do want to climb in the rain, and luckily there are more throughout this well. But I don't really care for it. We'll find plenty more. It's not really worth collecting them now. But okay, from here, let's go ahead and now make our way to the Lanayru region, that being Zora's domain. I'm super excited to revisit it after the upheaval, you know, within Tears of the Kingdom compared to Breath of the Wild. For those who don't know, Zora's domain is my favorite area from Breath of the Wild, and we'll see if it holds up within this game. I really love the quest up ahead and the regional phenomena it holds. I mean, I kind of like the one in Rito Village as well. I kind of preferred it to snow, but this one, I'm not going to prefer it per se. You'll see what I mean. But okay, now that we're slowly reaching an area that we don't have a map of, I'm going to continue following these bridge pathways to reach the next area, but this is where things may get a little bit complicated if you're trying to follow along, but I'll make it really easy to follow. So from here, let's go ahead and open up our map, and from here we're going to start making our way to the regional phenomena and getting the map along the way. And since we don't have the map moving forward from this destination, I'm going to try to make this as easy and simple to follow along while still being efficient in how I tackle it. So while the pathway does split up to Zora's domain and Akala, I'm just going to ignore that and start passing this bridge here. This bridge is actually going to take me to a cave, which will then lead to a shrine, and from there we can then continue down the pathway with ease. It's kind of nice how it all connects together. And yeah, I'm gonna, you know, let me just keep hitting this bloopy. I feel bad hitting it, but at the same time I just want to break my bow and move on with it, since I don't see a point in having it in my inventory if it's about to break. But it was a waste because the bloopies can only drop so many rupees at a time, and by then I was just wasting arrows. But whatever, it was fun. It was somewhat cruel, but fun to say the least. Now let's go ahead and make our way into this cave. And like I said, this cave actually connects to a different side of the cave, and will also lead to a shrine, which is pretty nice. And oh god, yes, I don't like what I'm looking at here. Yes, this is a like that can straight up shoot rocks, and it also has the armor around it, which will make it really hard to take on unless you use explosives. But I'm just gonna ignore it for now. And speaking of rocks, let's make this you know, makeshift hammer, and since I am using a different bow, you know, I can just hit this guy in the butt and it will do enough damage. Since we are using a Royal Guard bow, which does 50 damage, and that alone will kill any bubble frog within a second. Obviously, with this being a cave, it holds a bubble frog, but that is not the real secret throughout this cave. You want to make your way all the way up here, and well, there also happens to be a base of bokoblins. But look at that. Oh yeah, stacking one another. Look at the difference between a headshot and not a headshot. See, that took me 2 hits when the other ones only took me 1. I love the efficiency. And again, since we are using the Royal Guard bow, I can make quick work of this blue bokoblin base. Even this big boss blue bokoblin stands no chance if I hit him with headshots versus non-headshots. Like, look at the difference. It is absolutely insane. I love it. But okay, there we go. He has been defeated, and we can actually pick up his blue boss bokoblin hammer. Now I want to merge it into a weapon and check out how it looks. Look at that. Yeah, we got an axe. I love how it even has a part of you know, how it would look on him. It just looks so dope, like, all together. But okay, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to actually save this guy. Yes, Hino from Breath of the Wild, the Blood Moon obsessed weird NPC, happens to be all over Hyrule in these weird bases. Yes, he gets caught, and his obsession with the Blood Moon has not changed. As you can see, he still mentions it, letting us know that, yeah, precisely at midnight when the whole sky turns crimson, the defeated monsters come back thanks to the Blood Moon. Not bad. I love how he's still obsessed, and yes, you can find him multiple times throughout the game in other enemy bases, and you have to save him by removing the cage he's in. It's pretty hilarious, to say the least, and I'm glad to see him again, because he was definitely one of the more unique NPCs throughout Breath of the Wild, and it's cool that he has more to do now. But that is not obviously why I'm here. Let's let him go do what he wants to do. We'll be seeing him again. It's no worry, but yeah, okay, with that said and done, now, actually, let's pick up this chest as well, since we did clear out this camp within seconds, and, okay, well, not holding anything unique, per se, but you know what, let's attach it to our Zonite Spear, I guess. So I want to drop it, and then we're going to go ahead and drop this sword that we just picked up, and then we're going to pick this one up, and then we'll fuse it by first making sure we actually have it equipped, and then there we go. Okay, whole process, but whatever. That way I make use of this weapon and not just leave it in its chest. You know, so if you're full on inventory, fuse it to another weapon. It will give that weapon more durability, more damage. Why not? But I want to use the blue boss Boko axe because, again, so badass. I love how it comes out of his forehead, but then you can turn it into an actual axe-like weapon. Super dope. But yeah, if you continue ascending upwards, you'll find a hidden shrine. Just like that. So yes, this cave has actually held a lot of unique things throughout it. Not bad. Mainly being the shrine, though, that makes it worth taking on. So let's go ahead and do so just now. Obviously, with this shrine being pretty well hidden, there's nothing really to take on, though, as, yeah, it's a Raru's Blessing Shrine. Just like that, we can complete it. So I believe this was, what, our second Blessing Shrine throughout this video, which ain't bad, ain't bad. There's a lot of them, though, throughout this game, I'll be honest. But makes sense, you know, it's the reward after completing an overworld objective. I like it, and again, it's just one step closer to cleansing Link from the evil that has plagued him with another light of blessing. So, okay, with that done, now let's go ahead and continue on and start making our way to Zora's Domain. So, from this cave, and the reason why I entered it to make it kind of easy to follow along is because if we exit the cave, we'll literally be on the pathway to Zora's Domain, which is pretty nice. So yeah, this cave is kind of split into multiple entrances and exits. As you can see, here's an exit. There's another exit below us that I could have taken. It's pretty convenient, pretty nice, but let's just ignore the enemies. Let's just move on. I don't really want to really explore too much because we don't have the map and it might be hard to follow along. So let's make sure we get the map first, and then we can really get down to nitty-gritty of all the secrets that are within this province. But okay, so there happens to be another one of the Hudson signs that we're gonna have to make sure is nice and secure within the ground. And luckily, since the game gives you this weird shaped thing here, we're just gonna go ahead and plop it like that. It should give us the leverage we need, because the real puzzle here is grabbing one of these pieces of wood. And you may notice on the back, yes, there happens to be a slot that we can perfectly just slide it in like that. And there you go, just attach it and okay, honestly that works. I'm pretty confident this will work. I don't like the way it kind of shifted when I attached it. It's kind of angled weirdly, but that should be fine. Just try letting go. It should be very snug in place, if anything. Yeah, didn't even budge. So just like that, it worked out. The main thing to this, if you are having trouble doing it, is just getting that piece of wood into the slot that you can get it in, and then attach it to a piece of wood underneath, and it should, for the most part, do the job. But there you go. With that said and done, now let's focus on making our way to the next regional phenomena. But first, let's pick up these rewards. Of course, we get ourselves some rupees. Not bad. At least we're slowly getting back the money that we spent on the bed earlier. But, I mean, it gave us additional hearts and stamina, so I like it. And we got some sleepover tickets. Too bad you can't use it with the special bed, since we are sitting on so many sleepover tickets thanks to this guy. But, okay, so here is where the pathway splits up, and believe it or not, as you can see, one pathway to the Maw of Death Mountain / Akala, the other to Zora's Domain. We're not going to head the route of Zora's Domain. While I would love to, and I love the way it looks, and Zora's River heading up it to Zora's Domain is so beautiful, this is Tears of the Kingdom. We're going to tackle things a little bit differently. And believe it or not, while heading up here, you'll be able to start, don't follow the pathway, of course, to Akala / Death Mountain. Just make your way up here off the beaten path, and yes, you're going to find ladders that take you up. But again, since we're playing Tears of the Kingdom and not Breath of the Wild, we're going to ascend instead of climbing these ladders. But yeah, the goal here is to reach the tower, so that way we can get the map for the Lanayru region. And this is a perfect route. I love how the game literally has all these wooden bridges and ladders taking you there with ease without having to get lost. And this is something that I've been trying to do throughout this entire Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom playthrough. Since the game is so open-ended, I want to show off the more intended ways that you're supposed to solve things, and not just fly over everything and make it very hard to follow or just all over. It's like, I want to show off what Nintendo added, what you can be missing if you just kind of rush to each major location without really taking things in. And I feel like this is a really cool pathway. And here, as you can see, when I'm stepping on, yeah, it reminds me a lot of the things that you find throughout Super Mario Sunshine, that being the weird gloopy mess, and it kind of does look like it. And believe it or not, not you solve it in a similar fashion as you would in Super Mario Sunshine. Essentially, Zora's Domain's regional phenomena is living in Delfino Plaza in Super Mario Sunshine. You'll see what I mean by that. You'll see. As, believe it or not, yes, there's like ink. It's kind of like the ink or whatever that slime was that you'd find in Sunshine, but now it's in Zora's Domain plaguing the Zora. And you can literally see it falling from the sky. Speaking of which, yep, look at those blocks that also fall from the sky. Keep that in mind as we're going to use that to continue heading upwards. But I guess since we're now here in the region and we're seeing a lot of this weird, nasty guck, let's go and use a splash fruit. And yes, this is what we're using the splash fruit for, as we can literally get rid of that nasty guck with some water. And we got ourselves some wings. There are other ways, obviously, to do it, but the splash fruits are very convenient and pretty much do the job altogether. And actually, hey, look, there's another bloopy. Let me quickly hit it. Let me not waste too many arrows. We'll just do 2. It should drop the amount of rupees it was going to drop, because, again, they could only drop so many. So there we go. Not bad. I'm sitting on 500 at least now, which is a nice number. But, okay, so we saw these fall earlier, and that is because, yes, we can use them as a way to make our way back up here. Obviously, you can climb it, but again, we're playing Tears of the Kingdom. We got to utilize our new mechanics from Ascent to Recall. They're all so nice. But yes, throughout this region, you will find plenty of splash fruit for all this guck that you got to get rid of. And again, I just can't help but get Super Mario Sunshine vibes from it. It's funny how I got Galaxy vibes / platformer Mario vibes from a different area. And here actually is a secret cave. I don't want to explore them because there's so many caves throughout here. Here is one on the mountainside, but you know, let's just do it since it's really easy to do. As you can see, there happens to be a bubble frog right here. Just got to shoot it anywhere this time because, again, I'm using the Royal Guard bow, which does insane damage. So one shot and it's out. Let me actually also see what's in here. We never got ourselves a luminous stone within this game, so let's pick one up while we're here. But also, let's see what's inside this chest, and that happens to be a knight's broadsword. Let's just drop a weapon for it. I don't want to fuse it to anything. Let's just keep it with us, and we'll fuse that to something later on. Okay, let's ascend. Like I said, I don't want to explore or do too much until I get the map, because it will make it really hard to follow along, and it's just generally easier to do with the map. So we got to keep heading upwards, and like I said, the game kind of set a really easy pathway to follow to reach the top to actually get the tower within this region. So again, we're going to use Ascend, even though you can easily climb it, and I guess we should start climbing from here. Luckily, you won't need to use even more than one stamina wheel to do this. As you can see, it's really easy to climb. Hell, Link can even just kind of walk on some of it, as we can literally replenish our stamina like so. But just like that, we are almost there. Obviously, the closer we get to the domain, the more of this guck we're going to find. Too bad we don't have Flood as a Zonai device, but we will use, I guess, the hydrants work as a water Zonai device. That's the closest thing we have to Flood from Sunshine. Okay, anyways, from here, we want to continue upwards. And again, since we're playing Tears of the Kingdom, we gotta solve things differently. So I lifted this up, and you may wonder why. Well, that is because I want to recall and then use it to, yes, ascend upwards. I love how technically I was able to make use of like 3 of the abilities in quick succession. So cool. And I love how, like, the versatility it holds. So nice. But okay. I was annoyed by the black and white background because while recall is active, it forces the screen to be black and white, so I had to stop it. But as you can see, we're real close to the very end of this climb. Such an easy climb because, again, the abilities within this game. Like, you don't have to be up in the sky gliding to reach each and every area. While that is the easiest way to do things, again, I want to show off what else the game has to offer, and I love how we have other ways of tackling things. So, again, let's go ahead and ascend up this, even though, again, I could have climbed easily. It wouldn't have taken me too long, but still, let's just do it this way. And now from here, yes, you may notice that this is where the tower is. We have made it, and whoa, more slime is falling. As believe it or not, yes, we're gonna need some splash fruit for this tower because the guck is everywhere, even as we have reached the Upland Zorana Skyview Tower. And well, there's a Zora in need. You there, please help me. The sludge fell upon me so suddenly. I wish I could wash it away if I had some water. Obviously, mired in muck. Yes, we know what we need to do. That is with the splash fruit. And just like that, we've done it. He's all clean. Well, not completely clean, but still, not bad. Let's go and speak to him. You saved me! Thank you. How shameful that this should happen to me, captain of the guard at Zora's domain. Unbelievable! After the upheaval, the filth suddenly began falling from the sky. It sullied the waters around here in Zora's domain. Everyone is at their wits' end because of it. That is why I set out to investigate the surrounding area myself. To think I would fall prey to falling sludge myself? Ugh. Just thinking of it makes my bristles, my gills feel so unclean. So yeah, we got the gist of it. It seems like the regional phenomena is this weird sludge all throughout here. And since we did help this guy out, he's going to give us a Zora Spear, even though since the upheaval, all the weapons have been decayed. So it's not the best of the best, but speaking of decayed and destroyed, our Stone Talus Hammer, while I love it, it's pretty much at its end. So let's go ahead and, yeah, just get rid of it and pick it up, because you won't be able to complete the side quest without literally having an inventory slot for the Zora Spear he gives you. But there we go. We have completed that side quest. But we're not here just for that. We're also here to throw the splash fruit onto the door that leads us to, yes, the tower. We have now gotten the Skyview Tower for the Zora's domain region, that being Lanayru. And with that, actually, it's not necessarily all of Lanayru. Lanayru is split up into 2 towers, believe it or not. But, you know, at least for the water section, not the, you know, mountain section, if that makes any sense. But yeah, anyways, with that said and done, let's go ahead and now activate it. At least we'll be able to see Zora's domain much better and navigate this area a lot better as well. It's pretty nice, and I love the way it looks. Wow. The time of day right now is like the perfect time to get that blue and orange look. Yeah, look at that all over the sky. But look as well, yes, these aren't waterfalls that are coming from the islands above us. These are literally waterfalls of muck. I mean, at least it's not water. It's muck falls, if that makes any sense. And we're going to have to figure out what's going on with Zora's domain and what's causing this regional phenomena real soon. But for now, let's just go ahead and scan this area. Again, you know, my favorite area throughout Breath of the Wild, where we're going to be able to relive it here in Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm real excited. I was actually super excited to take this area on, and I love everything that is involved within this regional phenomena quest. But for now, before we make our way to Zora's domain, while we're still all the way up here, there happens to be, yes, this giant, weird-looking ball. They're all throughout Hyrule in the sky, but these hold secrets throughout them. You want to look for the small opening point. As you can see, drop down, and yes, there happens to be a shrine throughout here. And we can see what's causing the ball to rotate, that being the fan that's connected to that. But for now, let's take on the shrine first. And with it being one of my favorite regions throughout the game, it also holds some of my favorite shrines, it being this one, actually. This is a flying device, as it kind of introduces us to the wing Zonai device a bit more, but look at how huge this shrine is. Like, wow. And yes, the goal is to pretty much fly all the way to the end of the shrine with the wing. And we're going to pretty much learn how to kind of set up a nice wing Zonai vehicle by, you know, attaching it to a couple other things and making it a very useful thing to glide throughout the air with. I love the shrine for just how massive it is and how it really utilizes the wing for its full potential, which will then make, you know, when using it in the overworld so much more useful. So it makes sense why they made this shrine so big, because they want to let you know that you can cover insane gaps with this Zonai vehicle here that we're building. So yeah, first thing we need to do is transfer the wing to the wheels. We go ahead and set it on to these wheels, and then we set it forward. And now we need to do one last thing before we take off with it to reach the end of the shrine. That being, yes, the game gives us as well another Zonai device, that being the fan. So that's pretty much it. You just want to assemble your wing with both the wheels and the fan, and then you're pretty much good to go to reach the shrine. We have a giant runway of sorts, where, you know, kind of like for the plane to take off. It's so cool. Like, I love how massive this shrine is, so you can make use of it, and like how they give you this giant runway. It just shows you the scale. Even in shrines can be absolutely absurd. I don't know. The vibe of the shrine is absolutely amazing. Like, look at that. So we're setting ourselves to fly all the way to reach this, yeah, the platform on the other side of the shrine. And look how huge this is. Like, wow. Yeah. It's so simple, so, you know, straightforward, but there's just something so magical about it with its massive scale, and then the runway you also land on. Look at that, like how huge this is, just showing you the scale and how much you can cover from flying. But anyways, now that we've landed, well, it looks like that wing is gonna crash, but whatever, we made use of it. And obviously with this being a shrine, you don't use your battery because you can only use the Zonai devices you find here, and everything has an infinite power, so it's super nice because you can really make use of it for a long period of time and kind of figure out how things work when you're not in the overworld. But okay, with that said and done, let's now leave the shrine and continue on. And let's not forget how we reached the shrine, as we got in through this giant orb island within the sky that holds one of the shrines. And yes, we can find a lot of these throughout Hyrule. And as you can see, to rotate it, you want to use that lever that a fan is connected on. Since the fan is connected on it, it's just forever rotating. So by disconnecting it, we can now rotate it ourselves, or at least just stop it from rotating, which will make it easier to leave. Of course, inside this, we also have a Gacha Zonai device machine. So let's go ahead and put it to use. I'm always going to use each new one we get, because with most of the new ones you come across, as you can see, we got a beam emitter. We always get new Zonai capsule devices. So why not pick it up? But okay. With that done, let's go ahead and now leave. I do like what holds in the sky throughout here, and I do want to explore it, but for now it's time to dive down to Zora's domain, because like I said, we got to focus on the regional phenomena first. And since the map has been activated, it's really easy to find. I mean, it's literally just right underneath that archipelago, as we were able just to jump down and reach the domain itself. As you can see, though, not much has changed, except things are looking a bit dirtier, to say the least. Yeah, that muck is all over. Now, the shrine placement is a bit different. I did like the shrine placement in Breath of the Wild because it was actually in the domain, not underneath it, but it's fine. Let's go ahead and land down. We can see muck falling from the sky, but yeah, we want to go ahead and take on this shrine here in Zora's domain, as it will give us easy access to it, and then from there, we'll be able to explore the domain itself. But yeah, let's just go ahead and take down this shrine first. Here we go. And with this being a shrine located within Zora's domain, to no surprise, this will have a water-type puzzle, that being the power of water. As, yeah, we're going to be using water to supply power for the shrine. It's a really cool concept and utilizes some cool mechanics that I really do like. So, yeah, as you can see, there's a battery here, and it is empty. It's void of power. So, how do we recharge it? Well, yes, we're going to be creating a water wheel. Similar to, like, you know, how water wheels do work. I love the concept here, as yes, by propelling this here, it will cause the area to essentially generate power from the water wheel with the, you know, momentum of this moving. So yeah, just like that, there you go. It's literally giving it power. Such a cool concept, kind of realistic in a sense. I mean, that was way too simple, obviously, to solve, but still, I really love the complexity of it and just like how you're supposed to solve it. So with the battery charge, let's go ahead and drop it here. Now, this is just for a random chest. I normally avoid the random chest, but this is kind of reminiscent of a Breath of the Wild puzzle, as in water, electricity is pretty conductive, and yeah, it will easily spread throughout it. So if we be careful, we can avoid getting shocked from the water, but that will open up this. And again, it's a puzzle we've done throughout Breath of the Wild, but I thought I'd show it off just for that reason. It wasn't really worth the opal, but whatever. And okay, at least I showed off that. Yes, if you're near the electricity in the water, obviously you will get shocked. But there we go. As you can see, that used all our battery. So let's go ahead and recharge it. I really do love, though, the water wheel concept. And I mean, overall, how so many things can be propelled. And again, with the physics, it's just so unique. Like, it's definitely going to take me a while to get used to. And I feel like people are upset that Nintendo made a game so identical to Breath of the Wild with the same engine. It's like, no, make more, because this engine is so good. The more, the better. I would love a Mario game with this engine, honestly. You know, give us more games like this. But okay, so obviously if you place the battery there, it will cause this to work, which will start propelling the platform upwards. So, you know, there are two ways to solve it. Just wait until you're on it to place it, or do what I did, recall it back down, and then ride it back up. I find that pretty cool, you know, making use of recall and, you know, trying to act like a badass. I don't need to move it. I don't need to wait. I'll have it come back to me. That's how I solve things. But okay, now with that done, we have easy access back to Zora's domain, since we will be teleporting back here from time to time. And now we can explore the domain itself. And obviously we're gonna have to save exploring the domain for the next video as we're reaching the end of this one. But let's go ahead and at least make our way up to the domain to get a better view at it. And instead of climbing this ladder, let's look for that sweet spot here as we can ascend. Yes, just like that. Luckily it does reach, but yeah, it's nice to be back in Zora's domain, and we're gonna see what's going on as, yeah, it's a lot dirtier than we remember thanks to the regional phenomena. So within the next one, we're gonna see what's been going on. Thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to leave a like on this video, and tune in next time as we explore Zora's domain throughout The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I've been ZM, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!